What is up, everybody?
What's up?
Thank you so much for being here for this week's show.
Thank you,
This is the
truly.
Doghouse Podcast. This is our 10th episode. We're super excited. I am your host, Emma, here with my co-host.
Rob, y'all's favorite, of course. What's up, guys?
And this week we have a super special, very important topic.
We're very excited about this one. We have a very kind of integral, important topic, as we tend to have with a lot of episodes. But this one, Emma, why is this one different?
So this one felt a little bit different and more significant to us. This is our official 2-month anniversary of the show. What?
Okay, 2-month anniversary.
And that is kind of a big deal for us because
is.
we've been posting consistently every week for 2 whole months now.
Right, and it's not. Granted, it's a good start, and we're very happy with it. It's not a ton, but we're so happy with the progress we've made. Specifically, what Emma mentioned with the consistency we've had with being able to post an episode every week for 2 months, and that is something worth noting in our mind. But that I think ties into what we're talking about overall for this episode, Emma.
Yes. Sorry, I accidentally said it.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Our topic this week is consistency. We're going to be talking about it as it relates to this show and our journey so far. And then we're going to kind of get into just the value and consistency and what it is to us and how
100%.
we use it in our lives.
Throughout every aspect of life, how consistency and how that's helped us, and why specifically with this podcast, with this show, we think it's been super just boom in our face how much of a lesson we've kind of learned with that. So let's go ahead and just jump right in here. Like we said, posting consistently every week. Let's talk about that, Emma.
Yeah, let's jump into that. So posting consistently every week comes with a lot of things, not only filming and editing and posting. There's actually a lot more than just...
More than we thought, too.
A lot more than we thought that goes into posting every week. So the first week, we had decided to do this and prep and figure out kind of all the steps that needed to be done. I personally got a little overwhelmed at a few points during the whole process. It was a lot, and I had trouble thinking that this was something that I could do every week consistently.
100%. You know, of course I was there, and this was not too long ago, so I remember pretty well. But basically, we were really excited about this podcast, really motivated for this podcast. And posting episode 1 actually took hours and hours of technical pain, not knowing what we were doing, exporting videos and whatnot. But past that, and through keeping that in mind, we've continued to post every single week. And where we're at now, just 2 months later, I don't know how long it took us to post our last episode, but it definitely was so much less painful.
Yeah, I think we just sat down in like a conference room on campus and we were chatting about things, and the process was so automated for me that I started uploading the video. Everything was so fast, and we were doing other things the whole time during the posting process. So it has just become so different. And there are a lot of things that we've learned along the way, obviously, that have helped this process and helped our kind of perspective on creativity in general shift. And we're going to get into that.
Let's touch on that.
Let's touch on some of like the skills and kind of hacks that we've learned.
Yeah, because like you just mentioned, specifically being consistent with a creative endeavor. That's what we're kind of talking about here. One that I really thought was just huge, super beneficial, very apparent even after, like I said, just 2 months of doing this consistently. Don't overthink it. That's point number 1. What does that mean, Emma?
Yeah, don't overthink it is something that we've really tried to keep in mind, because we, as along with the podcast, we have other things in our lives, other pretty big commitments that we're doing with this as well.
Yeah.
So
100%.
the option to overthink the topics for our episodes and how we came across on camera, all those little things, which we love overthinking things.
We are the best overthinkers in the world, by the way.
We truly are. We can just spiral all day long.
Scenarios.
So we literally had to recognize that first off.
Which was big.
The first step is recognizing when you're overthinking something, and then kind of just moving forward. I think that's the best way to put it. It's just moving forward.
Right.
And keep going. Don't let yourself stop.
Moving forward, keeping it moving. That's the key. And that requires just a little bit of a leap of faith. Trusting that maybe it won't be perfect, but maybe I'm going to get a very usable, solid product at the end of this.
Yeah, you don't have to think, is this product perfect?
No.
Is it usable for what you're trying to do? Mm-hmm. That's the main thing. We, at the end of the day, even when we really didn't like an episode, we thought, is this usable? And in reality, how is this going to come across?
100%. It's all about keeping that momentum, keeping it moving forward. And when things are already in motion, little science bit for you guys, they tend to stay in motion. And that's been very apparent through this creative project of ours.
Yeah, consistently posting has allowed us to slowly build kind of momentum, and we just kept that going. And because we haven't let ourselves stop for too long,
rhythm now.
We're just in such a rhythm that it's not even a possibility that we'll miss a week or drop the ball on any of the really important things that we have to do.
And just to say, there's been a lot that's happened that maybe we would have thought might have caused us to miss posting or miss filming, but it hasn't. And that's been very reaffirming.
Yeah, 100%.
Through consistency.
And another thing that I kind of want to touch on, along with moving forward, sometimes how you do that is when you really think that you don't like a product, coming back to it after a little bit of time helps way more than we ever could have imagined.
Excellent point here. That leads straight into our next tip, our next takeaway, which is fresh eyes, the fresh eyes mentality.
Coming back to a product with fresh eyes after a few hours of giving your brain a break, because at least when I'm analyzing my creative work, it is all of my brain power being used, going into every single aspect of that. So there's no room for any outside perspective to get in. So sometimes just giving yourself a breather can 100%. Do miles for what that product actually is and how you perceive it.
Yeah, how you perceive it. You're not just giving 100% of your mental capacity. I think for us true creatives, when we're making that product or working on that project, you're pouring a lot of your emotional capacity into that as well, which takes quite a toll, speaking from experience.
It really does. The emotional energy that I feel,
you can get real mad.
I can get so mad at myself, which is like the worst thing. When there's a product in front of me that I made that I see so many flaws in, I get so mad at myself, and that's not healthy. Just sitting there being mad at yourself, looking at something that you don't want to be analyzing, just takes so much out of you.
And it could go the other way. It makes you feel some type of way about the art itself. It makes you resent that for the mere fact you created it and you see flaws in that. So, fresh eyes. When you hit that point, shelf it. Shelf it until tomorrow. Don't look at it until tomorrow. And when you see it tomorrow with fresh eyes, it's kind of magic, guys.
It is really magic. Rob and I have experienced this so many times over these 2 months. Not even when we're looking at like a video, but sometimes we have an idea and we're kind of like, don't know how we feel about it, maybe not usable. Coming back to an idea or a product after even just like 24 hours of us doing other things.
It's a world of a difference.
World of a difference. We've been able to get right back on a rhythm if we give ourselves a break when we feel that kind of hitting that wall.
Yeah. Quick anecdote just to support that is like literally with the podcast in past episodes, after we film some of these, we'll watch them back and just it's bad, guys. We'll watch them back and we will not be happy with what we see. Sometimes I'll even be feeling like, yeah, we're gonna have to delete the whole thing. I hate how I looked, how I came across. There's so many mistakes. And then a mere 24 hours later, when we edit, we realize it's not that bad, and we actually have a very usable product.
Yes, this has happened with
So
probably the majority of the episodes.
Right.
Not to say that we're not super proud of what we're putting out there, because at the end of the day we are, and that is kind of the whole point.
That's the whole point. 100%.
We're super happy with what we're putting out and proud of it, and a lot of that has been because we don't overthink, don't overanalyze, and we've learned how to shelf things.
Right. And last point with shelving, when you shelf it, you're able to see it not just with new eyes, with a fresh mental state, with a fresh emotional state as well. That's just what I was getting at earlier. It's so easy to feel some type of way about your creative work, especially for, us artist types out there. So 100%. Don't overthink it, and fresh eyes. That's kind of two really big things we've learned through being consistent with the podcast and being creative. But I think we're going to switch gears here, right?
Yeah, that was a great way to wrap that up. We are going to now switch gears into kind of consistency in general and in our lives.
100%.
So we have mentioned before that we work out. We do that every single day, and that's the earliest example of consistency in my life that I can think of.
That's the most blatant for me as well. Like 100%, the most clear example of being consistent for myself that I learned was the gym, fitness, working out every day.
And also, like, the most and earliest compliments that I ever got were specifically because of working out. I think it was kind of the same for Rob.
100%.
And that only happened because of how consistent we were at the gym. We did not take a day off.
No.
That house was like, the years that we were all three lived there and were working out.
It was a little crazy, but I really liked it. I really liked that environment because it was me, it was Emma, and it was our other brother, Seth, who was in between us. We all kind of got into the gym within the same couple years, right?
Yeah, we totally did. And a lot of times we would go together,
Pre-workout
pre-workout together, protein shakes together after the gym. It was just a whole culture. And I loved going every single day and having that consistency from the beginning. And I know that's kind of hard, and that's definitely not the case for everything, but because I knew exactly what the results that I was going to get from going every day, I pushed through.
To make that choice, right?
The choice became not even a choice to me.
No-brainer.
Because I knew the results that I wanted and that I was going to get and how my body would look and how healthy I would be. It wasn't a choice. I just went every single day because I wanted to be healthy.
Right, let's talk about that. Because you wanted.
Yes.
Stop for a sec. Sorry, my hair's going a little crazy. What allowed her to be consistent, this is a kind of a really good point we want to bring up, was knowing what she wanted at the end of the day. That allowed the consistency to be just an easy choice, right? So let's talk about that.
Yeah, because we were kind of chatting about this before the episode. Mm-hmm. People talk about a lot about how they want things. I want to be healthy. I want to work out every day. I want to learn this skill.
Yeah, I want a lot of money. I want to be in shape. I want to be successful. These are things you hear from most people, right?
But what is the difference between wanting something and having that drive within yourself to actually go out there and get it?
That's what we're getting at.
That's what we kind of want to get into a little bit, because we feel very strongly that truly, truly wanting something means that you not only want the thing, you want everything that comes with getting the thing and having the thing, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, and I love that point. Let me rephrase that, or just reiterate that point, because I think it's so important. It's literally, to me, people think they want things, and that's kind of the difference. When in reality, they only want the outcome. They only want the reward. Wanting something, like fully, truly wanting something to us is you want everything. You want the whole process. You want everything that it takes. You want the time. You want the pain. You want the suffering. And you especially want the result. You want the whole package. And I think wanting the whole package makes that consistency decision every day quite a bit easier, because you're consciously admitting and accepting what it's going to take.
Yes, I love how you put that, Rob.
Yeah.
I think that wanting the whole process entails, like, it's not only like I want to be in pain. Like, that's not what we're trying to say.
Not at all.
But like wanting that end result so bad that you're willingly put in that consistency every single day, and you push through the pain, and you push through the uncomfortability and having to make time for whatever it is, because you truly want the result, and you realize that everything you're going through is getting you there, and that's what's keeping you consistent. So that's think huge. That just staying consistent when you really want something is truly kind of the only way that you're going to be able to achieve that.
No, literally. It's been the only way we've found to be possible to achieve these things. Truly, 100%.
In the last 2 months, we've had a lot of conversations about goal setting, specifically when it comes to this show. And the only way that we've been able to set goals and reach them and grow and progress is by doing this consistently, like kind of bringing it full circle. Like we were talking about in the beginning of the episode, how our perspective kind of changed on creativity and all these things, but we would not be here today if we didn't stay consistent and set goals.
100%. It all ties back in, right? This is the full circle tie into where our creative kind of journey, like we talked about in episode 1, has kind of hit a full circle moment right now, where we've seen just how quickly and how massively our creative skills and just skills in general with everything has improved. And we fully believe that's only because we've been as consistent as we have been. We're not trying to gas ourselves up here.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
We're just kind of trying to explain how we've gotten to where we are and why we believe that being consistent is so, so important and vital.
100%.
When you're trying to move forward and progress. I think we're going to kind of wrap it there.
I think so. I think we really did hit on everything we wanted to say. Truly just consistency throughout multiple aspects of our lives has changed our lives is what we kind of wanted to hit on.
Yeah, truly changed our lives for the better.
100%.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 10, officially double digits. We are so happy. Thank you for sticking with us.
Guys, thank you so much. Episode 10 means a lot to us. We've kind of been building up to this one because honestly, when we started, we didn't know if we would make it this far. Cards on the table.
We really wanted to. We
definitely wanted to.
Episode 10 as a checkpoint so that we kind of would get this far. And I'm glad we did in the beginning because here we are. But
halfway to this,
I didn't have 100% faith. Yeah.
But by the time we hit episode like 5 or 6, I think there was no question with the level of consistency we had, this was going to happen. So thank you for watching episode 10 of Doghouse. Again, really appreciate you guys. Any last words?
You've probably heard it before. Consistency is key. I know we've said that in other videos. This is key. This is key.
Everything. A lot of keys,
but you need more than one key to.
There's a few. I
don't know how to finish that analogy. Anyways, be consistent. Thank you again for tuning in, watching or listening. Please follow us on our socials if you haven't yet.
New episodes every Thursday.
New episodes every Thursday.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
See ya.